the citizens are fed up with the fact that there are good declarations, but on the ground, nothing is happening. And this is also certainly where we have to put the focus on.
How can you or your organization contribute to the implementation of the 2030 Agenda?
Personally, I try to be a good example and follow the aims in my everyday life. And I would like to reach the self-sufficiency in an environmentally friendly way. And I also want to serve the protection of nature as I can.
Myself personally, well, we are working, I chair the Sustainable Development Observatory in the European Economic and Social Committee, and we are doing a lot in this area. We're producing opinions, we are talking about how can we address the obstacles that are there, why we need more policies if we're going to make this transition to a low carbon economy, you know, and what digitalization means for workers, for communities. So we're doing a lot of work, a lot of research, producing papers to try to make our contribution to the achievement of the 2030 Agenda.
You know, I think the 2030 Agenda is something that each one of us can contribute to in our own way. And one of the ways is to bring it more into our educational system so that young people think about their future. 2030 is when they will start entering new jobs and when they will become leaders. So bringing the idea of linking sustainability, linking jobs, linking environment together and doing this at an early age is one major step we can take. And a second is to bring it into all of our different policy sectors where we think not just about transportation, but how do we develop a transport system that is sustainable for the long run? How do we think about elderly care in such a way that we can link an aging population with our concerns about next generations?
Well, my contribution is a bit specific because actually in France, I have been asked to implement the SDG. So basically, I am the one who is trying to think the whole system. As an interministerial delegate, I am in charge of this implementation. So my first role was to think, how on earth am I going to be able to mobilize so many different people? How am I going to build this community? This was my main concern at the beginning. And the second one was, how am I going to bring aboard all the elected officials, politicians and ministers? So for the first thing, my first task was to create this community and give it tools, like a platform, face-to-face meetings, in regular period, organize specific events with on specific SDGs with a limited community. So that's the first thing. On the second thing, to mobilize elected officials, well, I'm knocking at every door. And I am very, persistent. Try to convince the best I can.
Well, I guess that's the European institutions that I represent, because myself, I already contribute, I guess, is the fact that we have to assess the situation and to come with a clear commitment and a clear strategy. This is something that the European Commission has committed to do for the European elections of 2019. So the Commission has the monopoly of initiative, so we can push for a number of things. We have also to ensure that what has been decided is going to be implemented.